The countdown has begun for school to end and summer fun to begin, and that means kids are going to hit the pool.
Before they jump in, an effort is underway to save their lives. The program was started by a national organization after last summer's drowning death of a local boy. News Channel 6's Dee Griffin shows us how his death has initiated a movement to help children keep their heads above water.
At 5 years old, Princeton Metters was a typical happy little boy who struck a chord both musically and personally with those who knew him best.
Princeton was a very lively, bubbly child, very energetic. You knew when he came into the room. Talked with anybody, played with anybody, sweet spirit.
Princeton was not only Michelle's son, but also 7-year-old Caden's little brother. If a picture says 1,000 words, then photos of Princeton reveal volumes about his personality. Smile after smile. Although small in stature, Princeton's mother says his love was big.
And he would say, "Mommy, do you love me?" I said, "Yes, sweetie. I love you so, so very much."
Michelle says her love for the boys is strong, but so was the bond they shared with her deceased husband's parents. Every summer, the boys spent time with their grandmother and grandfather in Tennessee, but Michelle says there was always one caveat.
I've told her many times, don't take my children to the pool. They're kids. They may beg, but I know what's safe for my children.
Last July, that rule was broken, and so was her heart.
The family friend decided to leave the children in a whirlpool and walk away. And when he walked away, he was on his phone. He was on Facebook. There's a videotape that shows everything that happened. And Princeton got out of the whirlpool and went to the main pool, and he slipped in.
With the grandmother away getting food and the family friend not paying attention, Princeton was underwater for 6 minutes. His brother and 4 other young relatives helplessly watched.
It was a guest at the pool that pulled my child out of the water.
That day, Princeton became one of the estimated 10 people who die daily due to unintentional drowning. According to the Centers for Disease Control, drowning is the leading cause of death for children in the U.S. Princeton, his brother Caden, and mother Michelle are members of the national organization Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. Through programming, mother members create opportunities for growth and development. Now, that includes a partnership with the American Red Cross to teach water safety to children, as well as train and certify instructors and lifeguards, all in Princeton's memory.
I'm very happy that Jack and Jill of America has decided to develop and implement this initiative with their American Red Cross to try to prevent this from happening to other children.
The initiative provides free water safety and swim lessons for children in communities across the country. Princeton was a member of the Augusta chapter of Jack and Jill of America Incorporated. Local children jumped at the opportunity to become better acclimated with the water in memory of their friend. As a swim coach, Russ Merritt says continued drownings keep him in motion toward making sure children know how to swim and even take strokes toward higher levels of competency.
Those of us in the aquatic community just think if we can prevent 1 or 2 or a few of these deaths just by putting people in competitive programs or swim lesson programs, then that's well worth it.
Although drowning silenced Princeton's voice, he's still striking a chord through a new initiative and saving lives.
I had so many aspirations for him, based on his little personality, what I knew he could have done. And it's unfortunate that we're not able to see that. But with the Jack and Jill Swim Initiative, in his honor, he still lives on through that, being able to save other children. And that's important. That's important. That brings me some sense of joy.
Princeton and his brother were taking swim lessons, which is the best way to prevent drownings, but it's also important to make sure an adult is always present and paying attention when children are around water.